The WFIL stations are proud to salute the lively, bustling community of Mount Holly, New Jersey. Mount Holly is a place where industry thrives and people live a full and compensating life. More than 14,000 persons live in a comparatively compact 3-square-mile area, yet there's space to spare. Named after the highest elevation in South Jersey, the town looks confidently to a promising future. The military is important to Mount Holly's economy and well-being. A considerable percentage of its population is service-connected at nearby Fort Dix and adjoining McGuire Air Force Base. We'll visit these interesting places a little later on. Mount Holly's mayor, Dr. James A. Miller.
I am the mayor of Mount Holly. I am a dentist. My name is James A. Miller. I'd like to just briefly describe the form of government that Mount Holly has. We operate under the Faulkner Act as a council-manager form of government. We have 5 councilmen who are elected at large throughout the township. And they, in turn, choose one of their members as the mayor. They chose me. The term of office for each councilman is 4 years. Now, the council, in turn, hires an administrator, which is the manager, the township manager. I kind of like to liken the system of government that we operate under to a corporation. We, the council members, are the board of directors, and the township manager is our president. The voters, or citizens of Mount Holly, are the stockholders.
Religious life in Mount Holly is vibrant. A Quaker historical background dominated the town's earliest times. Today, churches and houses of worship of the major denominations are vital to the community's spiritual well-being. Reverend Robert C. Ravel, pastor of the First Presbyterian Church and president of the Greater Mount Holly Council of Churches.
The Greater Mount Holly Council of Churches is a cooperative venture to bring both the religious and the moral structure of the community to a higher level. We have approximately 12 Protestant churches, 1 Roman Catholic, and 1 Jewish synagogue. And on many of the ventures here in town, we find great cooperation with the Catholic priests and with the Jewish rabbi, although they do not consider themselves to be a total part of our organization. We find that in presenting the total picture of Jesus Christ, we can assist both the police department, the school authorities, and many other areas of our community in attempting to bring what the church has to offer into the lives of the community.
Mount Holly is well served by an educational complex of excellent public and parochial schools. Good education and careful schooling of the town's children and young people has always been foremost in the minds of the town fathers. Donald F. McBride, Mount Holly's director of the Board of Chosen Freeholders.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the WFIL stations for saluting the township of Mount Holly in Burlington County. Mount Holly is the county seat of Burlington County, of which there are 40 municipalities. Burlington County is the largest county in the state of New Jersey. It bisects the state, running from the Delaware River to the bay. Primarily, we have been a farming community. Our growth and expansion since the 1960 census is 60,000, making a total population estimated at 260,000. Mount Holly represents, to the people of Burlington County, the hub of the 40 municipalities. And we, the Burlington County freeholders, join with WFIL in saluting them.
Industry in Mount Holly is prosperous. The Northampton Textile Company is a fine example. This substantial firm produces furniture coverings and tapestry of a highly superior grade. Northampton's president, Mr. Steve Robert Stevens, is a former mayor of Mount Holly. The plant regimen demands expert personnel dedicated to the sort of workmanship that has made Northampton a byword in the furniture world. More than 200 people work at Northampton in 2 plants in Mount Holly. This installation is chiefly concerned with looming, weaving, and readying the finished product for shipment. Orders come to Northampton when the very best is requisite. As skilled specialists in a highly competitive business, the work done is a tribute to the care and pride in what is so lovingly produced. Splendid homes and the finest hotel accommodations anywhere bear the unmistakable stamp of Northampton's outstanding craftsmanship. The people who work here regard perfection as important as breathing out and breathing in. The final product reflects this conscientious sentiment. Mount Holly is truly a community of beautiful homes. The new blends nicely with the old. Most streets are fringed by lovely trees, providing graceful shadow and cool surroundings. There are, of course, as with any growing town, new developments. These are pleasantly designed for convenience and general utility. We notice that many residential areas have been wisely laid out with wide streets and roadways. While the shopping districts are compact, home sites are amply spacious, with most enjoying good yard space. Dana Baggett, Mount Holly's town manager.
Mount Holly operates under the council-manager form of government, and as the township manager, my job is to translate the policy decisions of our township council into action. We have over 30 municipal services that we provide our Mount Holly residents, and we feel it gives our citizens a broad range of service, all the way from the traditional police and fire services, fire, by the way, with an excellent volunteer department, to more mundane things such as garbage collection. I think it's interesting that while improving services over the last 11 years and providing a greater quality and quantity, we've also held a stable municipal tax rate.
The Modern Packaging Company in Mount Holly is a booming small business in the community. The firm, which is working at top speed, employs some 35 people. The company provides quality control laminated packaging for foods, drugs, and medical supplies. Skin packaging with excellent machinability is made through automatic processes combining mylar and similar materials with polyethylene. Extrusion machines are governed by a beta gauge, which enables thicknesses down to 101,000th of an inch. Polyethylene film for cheeses, liver products, and surgical usage are carefully prepared on a mass production basis. The delicate machinery, some of which includes radioactive isotopes, is electronically controlled. Extruders, pouching, and slitting machines make food packaging a prime activity, but film containers for liquids, chemicals, and sauces are also turned out in amazing numbers. The company produces over 1 million pounds of flexible packaging films a year. A pound holds about 10,000 square inches. Charles J. Lockery, Executive Director for Mount Holly's Urban Renewal Program, discusses his province in community progress.
As Executive Director of the Mount Holly Urban Renewal Authority, we are involved in a rehab and a conservation of the main street on the Mount Holly Township. Our main idea is to improve the shopping center in the center of town to attract more people away from more or less your malls and outlying districts back to buying in their own hometown. At the present time, we're proceeding along according to our schedule, and we hope by the end of July to have the properties acquired, which we are very much involved in at the present time. We'll have our extra money from the government to take care of buying these properties. They will be demolished, and in their place, we hope to build new, when I say we hope, I mean we are going to build definitely new retail commercial stores. In doing this, we will not only attract more but better stores into the main street of Mount Holly, so that when we finish up, we will have a complete new shopping center in the town.
Burlington County Memorial Hospital is fully accredited and offers a wide variety of medical services. Hospital Administrator John N. Hatfield tells us how Memorial grew.
Burlington County Memorial Hospital was established in 1880 to serve the health needs of Mount Holly and the rest of Burlington County. At that time, it was a small 8-bed institution, and in the years since, over 85 years, has grown into a 200-bed hospital that is just completing a major expansion program to become a 243-bed hospital, fully equipped with up-to-date health services for the community. Incidentally, we are also beginning to plan for additional beds. This present construction program is going to help meet some of the needs for new operating rooms, delivery rooms, laboratory, x-ray, and other supporting services. But with the rapid growth of the county and Mount Holly proper, we need additional beds over and above those we have.
Burlington County Jail is the oldest prison in the United States still in use. The structure was built in 1810. The county courthouse, erected in 1796, is a fine example of colonial architecture. Mount Holly has its Liberty Bell, which was once used to signal the news of the Declaration of Independence. In 1959, the major courts in the town were moved to a new county building. Matt Sleeper, editor of the weekly Burlington County Herald, talks about his excellent publication.
The Burlington County Herald was established in Mount Holly in 1826. We like to feel that the Herald is 139 years young and one of the oldest, most historical communities in the state of New Jersey. The Herald has served both Mount Holly as the county seat of Burlington County and the county itself as an independent newspaper. We're not aligned politically with either party. Consequently, we can take the middle ground and observe both sides. Covering Mount Holly for the past 139 years, the Herald has reflected the growth of a prosperous community and the development of Burlington County as the fastest growing county in the state of New Jersey. The Herald always strives to take the editorial standpoint of view that we feel is in the best interest of the people of the community. The Herald has been instrumental in securing large municipal parking facilities for Mount Holly. It has been a very strong advocate of the community's current urban renewal plan. We feel that the development and progressive leadership of Mount Holly creates the type of news which any community would like to see in print.
Progressive towns like Mount Holly count heavily on their chambers of commerce. Albert E. Freeman, general manager of the Burlington County Herald and president of the Greater Mount Holly Chamber.
Mount Holly, the county seat of Burlington County, is in the heart of the rich, responsive Rancocas Valley. Mount Holly is the business, legal, medical, and cultural center of South Jersey. It's a town where people love to come and shop because customers are treated as neighbors and not as account numbers. We're quite sure that everybody in the greater Delaware Valley area at one time or another has visited Mount Holly. It's a city of beautiful homes, good schools, fine churches, and a business district that serves our entire community. We have two neighbors near us, Fort Dix and McGuire Air Force Base. And they're really our neighbors in the truest sense. There's an interchange of thoughts, ideas, and business between our neighbors. We invite you all to come and visit Mount Holly and shop in Mount Holly. Mount Holly is a town with a proud past and a brilliant future.
The Plasticon Corporation in Mount Holly is another look-to-tomorrow industry that thrives. The firm makes cement pipe with storm drains and concrete conduits. An average day at Plasticon means production of at least 30 pieces of pipe 6 feet long. 32 people are employed in a 9-acre area. Dry cement is trucked into the plant and blown into an overhead silo. Big mixers admit the powdered raw material to a blending with water and gravel. The mixture is then poured into cast iron molds which are vibrated. The spinning tool within the mold forces the cement around a wire roll. An iron ring forms the connecting portion of the pipe as the molding is fashioned. 2 live steam kilns, 100 feet long, 20 wide, and 10 high, treat the wet molded pipe overnight. The 8-hour overnight process is equivalent to standing outside under normal conditions for a full week. A large yard contains some 650 tons of finished pipe, every foot of it sold and awaiting delivery. The name Plasticon has its special connotation for the future. We were told the company one day expects to be making plaster as well as cement piping. The Mount Holly locale is surrounded by fruitful farmland. Bloomfield Farm, owned by Dr. James J. Hogan, features registered black Angus cattle. The Rancocas Creek is a major waterway in Mount Holly, beautifully adaptable for recreational purpose. Hack's Canoe Retreat rents watercraft to groups and individuals all summer long. The Cedar Water Stream runs some 30 miles to Brown's Mills and is navigable by canoe all the way, barring several minor portages. Scout troops and excursionists from near and far make pilgrimages to the Rancocas for overnight canoe trips. We came upon a portion of Scout Troop 74 of Medford, New Jersey, just setting out for a canoe and camping journey. Mill Dam Park is incorporated into Mount Holly's recreational programs. 2 beaches and lifeguards are available. Swim teams and other organized water sports are arranged on a convenient schedule. Mount Holly's Park Commission runs the Mill Dam beaches. The day we were there was truly a time for a cooling dip, and the bathers showed every appreciation of the facility. The community has a broad program of recreation of all sorts. Ball teams, playgrounds, tennis and band concerts, and the Monroe Street Pool are all integral efforts in the community. Vermico is another Mount Holly industry adding to community economical prosperity. The plant makes electrical conduits and is a branch of the Brown Company paper product specialists. 810 employees work at the Mount Holly installation. The plant is contained in 8 acres. Vermico calls its conduit product life-guarded. Used newsprint and similar materials are scientifically made into pulp. An age-old preserving agent, pitch, impregnates the cellulose fiber after it's formed on aluminum mandrels. Coal tar pitch in steam-heated tanks is applied. The lengths of fiber pipe are placed in big iron baskets and inserted into a sealed tank called an impregnating kettle. The pipe stays in the kettle for 90 minutes, most of this time under vacuum. Then the basket is removed and put in a water cooling tank for 10 minutes. A so-called papering lathe attaches paper ends to the pipes for fastening. The finished product is made to outlast a lifetime, maintaining resistance to shock, water, acids, alkalis, corrosion, and electrolytic action. Vermico pipe is used for light and power conduits, traffic controls, railroad signals, and switches in military areas, airports, industrial parks, and in homes. Fort Dix is 12 miles from Mount Holly. The military installation holds some 32,000 soldiers and civilians. Dix is one of the several basic training areas in the nation. We watched a platoon of Company L, 2nd Training Regiment, under the command of seasoned drill sergeants and West Pointer Captain Charles D. Getz. These trainees have been at Dix for 3 weeks of their initial 8 weeks basic instructional period. You may have noticed the old-time Army campaign hats on the drill sergeants. These are achieved after a special 5-week course. The platoon sergeants and their charges represent what our top military authorities call a quality soldier. He served well. The new barracks at Dix come as near enlisted man luxury as you may imagine. Most are air-conditioned throughout. The dining halls resemble excellent restaurants and decor, some even enjoying piped-in music at mealtimes. The quality soldier extant and in the making is no idle term. 73% are high school graduates. 69% of the Army's officers are college graduates. Captain Getz supervised a period of physical training. The exercises won't be unfamiliar to a multitude of veterans. There's one all military men will never forget. Do you remember push-ups? We talked at some length with Captain Getz and his fellow officers about the new Army and the new breed of soldier. They're coming of age fast. Spit and polish are just as important as ever, but more so now. So is pride and morale. Knowledge that the individual is the single strongest thing our military possesses today, and never to be forgotten, that the infantry remains the queen of battle. McGuire Air Force Base abuts on Fort Dix. We talked with its Deputy Commander, Colonel Edward Jones.
As you know, McGuire is operated by the 1611th Air Transport Wing, which is a military air transport service organization. Our mission is to provide our nation's military global airlift, a very important and a very interesting mission. For example, we operate the largest military aerial port in the East. During an average month, we will move from 30 to 40,000 individuals through our passenger terminal. During the busy season, this will peak out at 50 to 60,000 a month. In addition, we move about 4,000 tons of essential military cargo through our air freight terminal. To give you some idea as to the size and the magnitude of our operation, our annual military payroll, and this also includes the civil service employees, comes to over $55 million a year. Our our purchasing and contracting office will contract for an additional $11,800,000 as an annual average. We feel that we're very fortunate in that we are located so near to Mount Holly and the other fine communities in the area. And if I might take this opportunity, I would like to wish our good friends and neighbors in Mount Holly every success in their future endeavors.
McGuire Air Force Base is the only Air Force installation in New Jersey. The base, like Fort Dix, is vitally important to nearby Mount Holly. One of the installation's main heartbeats is the passenger terminal, where as many as some 70,000 service personnel and relations can pass through in a month's time. Almost 13,000 military people and civilian employees work at McGuire. Over 9,000 dependents also live on the base, and thousands of others in the immediate area. This scene goes on around the clock. Military people, their families with them, are following the head of the family to a new and distant post en route to another new life. Service wives are usually on the move. They know how to travel, even with a bevy of young ones in tow. Moving from one area to another around the world is nothing strange. These people may well be among the most cosmopolitan on Earth. A case in point is Mrs. Victoria Gerting, on the way across the Atlantic to join her Airman First Class husband. Vicki Gerting started her journey in Georgia, is about to emplane for Ankerley, England. The three little Gertings, immutably attached to Mommy, act like seasoned travelers as well, and you can bet Daddy will be on hand to meet the military air transport plane when it touches down in the United Kingdom. McGuire is the headquarters of the Eastern Transport Air Force, the 1611th Air Transport Wing, the Naval Air Transport Wing of MATS, and of the New York Air Defense Sector of the Air Defense Command. Deactivated after the conclusion of War II, the base was reopened in 1949. McGuire was named after the late Major Thomas B. McGuire of Ridgewood, New Jersey, Medal of Honor winner and the leading ace in the South Pacific Theater during War II when he was killed in action January 7, 1945. McGuire is entrusted with a key military mission: provision for scheduled and strategic worldwide airlift support for the Department of Defense. McGuire and Fort Dix may be more than a stone's throw from Mount Holly, yet the two bases are closely knit to this significant community. Again, the WFIL stations are both pleased and proud to salute a splendid New Jersey town. We like the place and the people in it. Both are a great credit to the Garden State. Lastly, we know there are big things ahead for this modern, progressive town for tomorrow. This is John Rawls.